What's going on, everybody? C4, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to explore one of the more polarizing topics surrounding the 2023 NFL Draft as it relates to my favorite team in the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles, who hold 2 first-round picks, pick 30, but more importantly, and what we're going to focus on today, pick number 10. There is one player that is quite possibly splitting the entire Philadelphia Eagles fan base. Should the Philadelphia Eagles select Bijan Robinson in the first round? More so at pick 10. I think most of the fan base, if Bijan Robinson fell because of the value of the running back spot to pick 30, they'd probably be fine with that. But the question is at pick 10, going against the mold of what general manager Howie Roseman has done, where we can almost just assume we're likely going to draft someone that plays in the trenches, be on the offensive line or the defensive line at pick 10. But the fact that there's so very few blue chip players in this year's draft, those are godly numbers at Texas. Last 2 years, but he's leaving Texas in 2022. Almost 1,900 yards from scrimmage, 20 touchdowns. Yes, there's not a lot of value getting a running back at pick 10. But every now and again, there is a perfect storm, an opportunity cost that's too rich to pass up on, and that is Philadelphia having the ultimate luxury selection of drafting a running back at pick 10 because the rest of the team is so complete. So what we are going to do here today is we are going to draft Bijan Robinson at pick 10. We're going to put him on the Philadelphia Eagles and see just how dynamic he could be as a rookie for the Birds. You know, it's going to be fun on draft night. Make sure you stay tuned to the channel. We will be doing a live stream for the draft, and it's going to be popping, especially with Philadelphia as it stands right now, having 2 first-round picks. But what I want to explore, there's a reason why I'm only doing one season. I want to see the rookie season, is because if Philadelphia drafts Bijan Robinson at pick 10, you are going to want to see immediate return on investment. You're going to want to see a guy that absolutely is an X factor. You're going to want to see a guy that is pushing top 5 running back in the league status if you are using a top 10 pick. If you are Philadelphia and you're using a top 10 pick on Bijan Robinson. So that is exactly what we're going to do. Let's see what the kid can do. Get a little bit of fun with the rest of the mock draft, getting players that I don't know if the value is going to be there. I got Jonathan Mingo in the 7th round, one of my favorite wide receivers in this year's draft class. Actually would be a perfect fit for me and the Eagles. Big slot. Dorian Williams, great linebacker. I'd love to see him and Nakobe Dean do the damn thing. Keely Ringo, likely not going to be there this deep into the 2nd round, but Philly has shown interest during the pre-draft process. And when we signed Sean Desai, new defensive coordinator over from Seattle, who worked wonders with height, weight, speed in Tariq Woolen, that is Keely Ringo in this year's draft class. Would be an excellent project-type corner to play behind and learn behind Darius Slay and James Bradbury. Brian Branch at safety. Yeah, that's definitely one of the dream picks here for the Philadelphia Eagles. Hell, I've seen more than enough mock drafts and Eagle fans on Twitter saying they want him at pick 10, which is a little rich for my blood, but we got an excellent role with him still being available at pick 31. Jackson Smith-Njigba is also still there. So that was a little bit of a tight call, but ultimately, and I assume if this happened, you think Donovan McNabb would allow him to get number 5, I think, right? He wouldn't be a hard ass about that. Bijan Robinson, what can you do? Are you going to be right out the gate an X factor for the Philadelphia Eagles, or are you just going to be another guy that we could have just survived with Rashad Penny and then maybe drafted a running back like Israel Abakanda, day 3? Let's see what the kid can do. So we got our roster up to date. Here is how the Philadelphia Eagles would line up given that draft that we had. Mailata, Dickerson, Kelsey, Cam Jurgens slides from being Jason Kelsey's backup out to that right guard spot to replace Sam Malu. Lane Johnson, we got Dallas Goedert at tight end, AJ Brown, 91 X factor, 88 for Devontae Smith, Quez staying in the slot, but ideally you'd have someone like Jonathan Mingo push him for some starting slot reps. We got Bijan Robinson in the backfield with Rashad Penny and Kenny G, and then superstar franchise quarterback Jalen Hurts pulling the strings. Defensively, we got BG, Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, and Josh Sweat. I look for a potential breakout candidate next season in Milton Williams. Linebacking core, Nakobe Dean and Dorian Williams. You got to factor Son Riddick, even though he lines up at linebacker. He is very much a pass rusher. We got Edmonds and Brian Branch, 2 brand new starting safeties for the Eagles. We got Slade, Bradbury, Avonte Maddox, and Greedy Williams with the addition of Keely Ringo. That is a lot of depth in this secondary as well. So this ultimately looks very much like a squad primed to go on another Super Bowl run. But just how big of a game changer will Bijan Robinson be? Get your predictions right now in the comments. I'm going to say he's going to get 1,400 yards and 19 touchdowns. That's my prediction, which is fucking insane if he could do that.
That Philly devil pulling up and I don't need a rental. Quick pitch to the outside, it's a house call C4 special. Take a check and we run it up. Got Quays heading up the sideline when it's do or die. We run it up, ain't trying to flex, but it's high time that the eagle fly. Facing my city for Philly, we reppin'. It's all about green when we steppin'. I made up my mind at the day that I die, but they really gon' call me a legend. You know that it's now, the time is upon us. The chip on my shoulder is halfway to heaven. They Xing us out for years, but tell them all hell. I turn the X to a weapon. This that free bird life, this that fly, eagle fly. We might tear down and build it back just to show us by design. Hey, this that free bird life, we ain't go without a fight. So go tell Dallas, Washington, NY, better watch they back cause I'm that Philly devil pulling up and I don't need a rental.
So the rookie season for Bijan Robinson and company gets us second place in the East. So at least like the fact that no team in the NFCs can win the division back-to-back years reigns true. We still played pretty well, 11-6 with a very difficult schedule. And take a look at Bijan Robinson. Did not finish in the top 3 for rushing leaders, but I imagine he played pretty well. Jalen Hurts, outstanding. I take those numbers every day. Maybe the interceptions are a little bit high. But Bijan Robinson goes for 1,500 yards rushing, 16 touchdowns. Like, in my head after I said it, I was like, realistically, as an Eagle fan, that would be hype, excited, and understand that there's worse things we could draft at pick 10 than a running back. What kind of production? And that's almost what I want to ask in the comments. What kind of production would Bijan Robinson have to bring for you to be like, you know what? That was the right call at pick 10. If you're one of those people there in the segment of like, we cannot draft a running back at 10. I'm thinking like in my head, 15 and 15. And that's 1,500 like scrimmage yards, 1,500 rushing yards, 16 touchdowns does it. The fact that he was also able to chip in 45 catches, 426 yards, and 4 rushes. So he gets pretty much 2,000 yards from scrimmage, 20 touchdowns. You're laughing at that. And another thing that's not talked about enough about Bijan Robinson, showed him one of the clips there, is that he's a damn good receiver out the backfield. So Philadelphia is a team right now that, like, as much as we like Quez Watkins on the channel, another need on the offense for Philadelphia is slot wide receiver. And the fact that, like, we don't really have a running back one, as much as we all want to act like maybe finally coming to Philadelphia, Rashad Penny can stay healthy. There's a reason why he, who's one of the most explosive running backs, still only got a 1-year, like, $2 million deal. It's because it's still unlikely that he will be able to stay healthy for a full season. So Philadelphia, if you look at the offensive side of the ball, assuming that Cam Jurgens, our second-round pick in 2022, is going to be able to slide out to right guard, which I assume he will be, slot wide receiver, and like a star running back are the two things that you can make the argument Philadelphia needs on the offense. Bijan Robinson can be that next pass catcher. He could be, not going to say he's going to be our slot wide receiver, but like we have 3 guys already. A.J. Brown's wide receiver 1, Devontae Smith's wide receiver 1B, Dallas Goedert's a top 5 tight end. You don't necessarily have to just brand it as a slot wide receiver. Sure, you can have Quez line up in the slot, but we're looking for that 4th receiving option. Bijan Robinson is not only going to be an outstanding top 10 running back, he can be that 4th wide receiving option for this offense. So 2,000 yards from scrimmage, 20 touchdowns. Would that be enough for you to get on with Bijan Robinson? Now, let's see, in the crunch time, what can he do during a playoff run? Surprisingly, we got the Falcons in the wild card round here. Battle of the Birds. Classic Madden, right? Cheesy Falcon play. But you know what? Hey, Philly does have a pretty good playbook as well. But let's be honest, this would never happen. But in this matchup of Anthony Richardson, Jalen Hurts, Bijan Robinson still played very well. He's probably the only guy that can hold his head up high here on the offense. 96 yards and a touchdown. Maybe Dallas Goedert. A.J. Brown went off a little bit there. But again, Bijan Robinson to the Eagles. It's a luxury pick. Our sim here kind of proved, if you're in the camp of they should do it right, how could you argue? How could you argue that 2020? God damn. Okay, I don't know if he's going to get offensive player. I was like, yeah, he's going to get rookie of the year as well. Maybe not. He does. He still beats out Anthony Richardson. 2,000 yards of scrimmage, 20 touchdowns at pick 10. I even think the most anti-running backs at that pick, people that just don't want to see that happen, would be like, you know what? That worked out well for the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, another thing that makes you feel good about this pick is like, if Philly did pull the trigger at 10 and drafted Bijan Robinson, it would be like the holy shit pick for the rest of the NFL. The rest of the NFL would be like, oh, great. Now the Eagles got this guy. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get that hype. You're not going to get that reaction if they draft Skaronski or Paris Johnson to be a backup tackle. You're not going to get that reaction if we draft, you know, a rotational pass rusher that's not going to expect to see the field unless there's an injury. Like if we got Nolan Smith or Miles Murphy or something like that. Like it's really Bijan Robinson, Jalen Carter, or if one of the two corners are there realistically in Devin Witherspoon, Christian Gonzalez. Those are really the only 4 players in that bubble of staying at pick 10. That would be awesome. And on the second channel, fellas, if you guys follow it, more C4, I am going to be dropping tomorrow my running backs. The running backs, I think that would be excellent for Philadelphia. And I'm going to go a little bit more into depth about the argument of whether to or not to draft Bijan Robinson at pick 10, as well as other running backs. Jamar Gibbs is a big popular name. He could be had late in the first round, maybe in the second round. Maybe there's some great options into the second, third, fourth, day 3 of the NFL draft. So make sure you subscribe to my secondary channel, More C4, as I break down all things Philadelphia Eagles. Today I actually did drop as well over there. Breaking down some quarterbacks, day 3, to maybe be long-term successive backups behind Jalen Hurts. But that is going to do it for me today, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy. I got plenty of exciting content on the way as it relates to Madden, something that relates to a Madden mod that I've kind of just been, I don't know, I've gone to the drawing board. I've recorded some videos, didn't like it, had to scrap it, but that will be coming soon as it relates to a Madden mod. We got more rebuilds coming on the way as well. If the Green Bay Packers and Jets could just fucking figure it out, we'd be able to do a Jordan Love Packers rebuild that I really want to do. I might just do it because I'm getting sick and tired of waiting around. But that will do it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button if you enjoyed. Until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out. Love you. Have a good one.